Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa and Internet world. This is the Joe Gaither Show right here on BamaCentral.com and the BamaCentral Broadcasting Network. You guys are watching me right here on YouTube, Twitter, on Facebook. My name's Joe Gaither, and this is the Joe Gaither Show. You can listen to us on playback on Spotify, Apple Music. If you want to check us out on any of the places you get your podcasts, I want to tell you about all the rest of our BamaCentral.com Broadcasting Network podcasts. We've got our friends All Things Bama with Austin Hannon and company, and then we've also got our friends Blue Collar Unplugged, referencing blue collar basketball for our friends Nate Oates. You can find Blue Collar Unplugged and All Things Bama right there on Spotify and Apple Music. New episodes will be dropping very, very soon for those shows. We're gonna have a fun show today. Hopefully, we're gonna have a fun show today. I'm expecting to be joined by Sterling Dixon, a four-star linebacker from Mobile Christian High School, any minute now, to continue on our recruiting series. We've talked to William Sanders from Brookwood High School, offensive lineman from Brookwood. We've talked to Amari Jefferson, wide receiver out of Baylor High School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ideally, we've talked to Ronnie Cottrell, Sterling's coach, so hopefully we'll get him jumped into the stream in just a few minutes. I'm working on Rico Scott, Alabama wide receiver commit, also in the 2024 class. So we're going to hopefully continue our recruiting series right here on the Joe Gaither Show, getting in touch with all of our 2024s, our 25s, and continuing, just going to make this a staple, getting to know the recruits before they go to their time in Tuscaloosa. But while we're waiting on Rico, let's kind of go back to a topic that we talked about yesterday. We closed the show with yesterday. We closed the show with Nick Saban talking to Joel Klatt on the Joel Klatt podcast about the college football playoff and how we would have been favored. Alabama would have been favored over 3 or 4 of these schools last year. Obviously, Ohio State. Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU are probably the obvious choices that Alabama would have been favored over, and you might have been favored over Georgia, depending on, yes sir. Sterling texted me back right there. Let me shoot him a message. Yes sir. Click that link and jump in. Add you in. Perfect. All right, we should have Sterling joining us in just a minute or so. Sorry about that pause. Got to produce and host, which is no big deal. We love it. So look, Nick Saban talking about we would have been favored over TCU, Ohio State, and Michigan. And he's exactly right. I think he is exactly right. But it's interesting that he uses that logic after the season. But in the season, when you ask him about any opponents, he always is quick to tell you that the Vegas line does not matter. That we don't care. Those people in the desert don't know Texas A&M. Well, Alabama was favored by like 20 against Texas A&M the week that they came into Tuscaloosa, and it came down to the last play. So coaches talking out of a little both sides of his mouth, but he's obviously trying to do what's best for his program, getting Alabama into the best position for the college football playoff in 2023. I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue in 2024 when you get into the 12-team playoff. I think that Alabama will have a nice and easy path, nice and straightforward path into the 12-team college football playoff. All right, we're going to put that topic to bed because the main event is up next. We are joined by our man Sterling Dixon. Sterling Dixon, class of 2024 linebacker from Mobile Christian. He's a 4-star linebacker. He's committed to Alabama. He committed in December, and he took an official visit this past weekend. We talked to Ronnie Cottrell about 2 weeks ago. So as we get this thing going, Sterling, thank you so much for your time, man. You look great, and I hope you're having a great Tuesday.
Man, I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for carving out some of your time. I know high school summer is a very busy life, so I appreciate you carving out some of your time for us today.
Yes, sir.
Sterling, let's jump right into our conversation today. I got a page worth of notes, so let's see how many we can get into and let Alabama Nation get to know you a little bit. You made an official visit to Tuscaloosa this past weekend. You were among 9 or 10 other athletes on an official visit this past weekend. First general question: how was the visit? Fun time?
Man, it was great. I just appreciate those guys for recruiting me. I'm blessed to be in the position. It couldn't have been better. I just appreciate those coaches for allowing me to just come there and continue to see what they're about.
I saw you took some pictures with Jihad Campbell. Was he your official kind of visitor liaison?
Most definitely. Jahaz's a great person. He's a great player as well. It's a lot of stuff that I learned from him just by talking to him. So I'm ready to get up there and learn from those guys and just continue to get better.
Well, that's what's up. What did you? The people who don't know, the guys like me who aren't afforded a chance to go on an official visit because I don't have near the athleticism that you do. What happens on an official visit? What they get you into Tuscaloosa? They take you to nice dinner. Kind of give us a breakdown of what the weekend looks like.
All right, so the weekend's pretty much like all the way planned out. Like you probably, and the whole day you probably get like an hour to yourself, and you get to go to bed, of course. But they wake you up in the morning for breakfast, and then pretty much from there it's like planned out. We went to the bowling alley. We went to lunch. We had a big old lunch I ate with Coach Saban. I went to Coach Saban's house. We went to there and got to get on the lake and stuff like that. And it was pretty fun. I mean, just the whole day is planned out. It just feels like home. Like those guys make sure you're very comfortable.
What did Coach Saban ride you around the boat on the lake? Did you get thrown off the tube?
Nah, he didn't let us do that. We used to have fun. We rode like go-karts and stuff.
That's what's up. That's awesome. What did he happen to tell you at the Saturday lunch? Obviously, he was making a pitch to solidify your commitment to the Crimson Tide. What was his big messaging to Sterling Dixon on the Saturday lunch?
Really, he just told me, why not just come be great? He was like, man, I'm gonna push you each and every day to get better. And he was like, why not be coached by me? He was like, I think I can bring the best of your ability out of you. So for me, that's just good to hear. That's the GOAT. So I know he can do it. I believe in everything that he said. I mean, it's just very positive just going to Alabama. It's a 40-year decision. It helps you not only be a great football player, but a great man, a great husband, just a man of character. And that's what I want to go be a part of.
I fully endorse that, and Coach has a pretty good track record with linebackers. Not so bad developing linebackers into the NFL, and great people. Sterling, you came off your visit this past weekend, and you kind of made a little bit of news in the headlines. And I'd like for you to kind of tell the audience at BamaCentral kind of what your conclusion was after the weekend, and kind of what the headlines really were. Where you decided after the weekend?
I just decided to set them out recruitment. I kind of knew where I wanted to go. It's like, why not Bama? They continue to just push for me and make sure I'm a priority. So for me, it's just like, man, I'm gonna go up in there with a bunch of guys that's gonna give me better each and every day. I'm gonna go up in there with a coaching staff that loves me. And if I do the right things, I'll get on the field. Like the resources are there. So if I go up in there and work, I'll definitely get on the field. So I just see a bunch of opportunity, and I see where God's taking me, and I'm just ready to get there.
There you go. Shutting down his recruitment, officially locked into the Alabama Crimson Tide 2024 class. What you kind of outlined what it meant to shut down your recruitment. Coach Cottrell has been very transparent with me, saying that you have had extreme pressure from a lot of other colleges. What does that pressure look like? Even though you've been committed to Alabama since December, and LSU and the others are still, hey man, come to school here. What does that pressure look like? Is it playing time? Is it promises? Is it negative recruiting to Alabama? What does that pressure really look like?
Kind of for me, those guys know, like, I'm not really one to just love recruitment. I just want to know the real, like, am I gonna get on the field? How early am I gonna play? So those guys know how to approach me because they learned the person that I was. So. It's different pitches. It's like, man, you can get on the field faster here than you can there. It's crazy. Like they promise some stuff that you basically can't even promise. So for me, it's just like I can see through it. I know what's real and I know what's not real. So for me, Alabama hasn't promised me anything. They somebody just come up in there and work, keep the same attitude I got, and I get on the field. So that's it.
What have you liked about Tuscaloosa? Obviously, you're coming on an official visit this past weekend, but it wasn't your first time here. What have you liked about your time in Tuscaloosa?
It's just very business oriented. Like that's the biggest thing for me. I want to just take care of my business. I leave the partying and all the other stuff alone and just wait till later. I want to sacrifice now. That's the biggest thing. I'm trying to get to the league in 3 years, and I know it's gonna take a lot. I'm gonna have to work each and every day to get better, and I know those coaches are just gonna push me. So with Bama, it's just like, man, it's crazy. Like everybody there has a business oriented mind. So it's like, well, why not?
I love that. You can sense it even, I live like maybe 3 miles from the stadium. You can sense everyone has a purpose every single day here in Tuscaloosa,
Exactly.
whether they're working for Coach Saban or just, delivering pizzas. Everybody's after their business. I love that about the city. Do you like any of the outside things in Tuscaloosa? Are you a big lake guy? Are you a big outdoors person? Or you just basically want to go to school and keep it business?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping business. I'm sure there'll be days that we do have fun, so Saban had that planned out. But I'm not a type of guy to just go out every day. I'm just usually chilling.
Well, Sterling, I had Ronnie Cottrell on 2 weeks ago. He was highly complimentary of you. He said, "Oh, you're gonna love this guy," and so far, I mean, obviously, you've been stand up. What makes it? What about Coach Cottrell? Really? What have you learned from Coach Cottrell? What has he taught you as a young football player?
He just tells me to be a leader. Like my freshman and sophomore year, I really wasn't that vocal. I kind of just let my actions speak for themselves. Like I go in, sit in the back of the meeting room, not talk. Like I was the leader sophomore year, but I really wouldn't say anything. Like I'd just be like, man, let's go work or let's do this. So with Coach Cottrell, he just brought the leadership roles out of me. Helped me to hire my game. He tells me stuff that I need to work on each and every day, and he's just like an honest guy. So for me, it's just like, man, I love him.
Is it difficult to go from maybe a non-vocal leader to someone who speaks up a little bit amongst his peers?
For me, it was definitely hard because, I mean, I never wanted to just talk because if I mess up, it's just like, man, you doing the same thing, you messing up. So for me, it was just like that. I always wanted to just kind of lead by my play, and that was really about it.
Sterling, I saw just from stats and research, you had about 9-10 sacks your sophomore year and 20 this past season. My man Michael Bronner, who works at WNSP, I think you talked to him last week, told me that one of your goals this coming up year is to break the state high school sack record. Well, I spent a lot of time this morning looking for that record and came up empty. Can you tell me what's the number or what's the goal for Sterling Dixon this year?
I can't exactly remember what it was, but I know I just remember I was like 15 sacks away from it.
Okay, great.
That was the biggest thing. I'm gonna try to have like 20 sacks this year. They're gonna see me off the edge a lot. I play a lot of inside just because I want to get ready for college. But that's the biggest goal for me this year is to actually win a state championship and then break the record. So.
Well, that is a perfect segue. You led Mobile Christian last year to the 3A semifinals, but you lost to St. James. What did you learn? What did you learn from that loss? A lot of times we learn more from losses. What did you learn from that loss?
Just honestly, leadership. I kind of take that loss to heart because there were certain things that I could have did to put us in a better position. For me, it was just like, man, getting those guys lined up in the right position, making sure I was more vocal at times. I take that loss to heart. It's a team sport, but I feel like it was definitely stuff that I could have did better. And that's really it.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously, do you feel pretty good? I mean, how loaded are the Leopards coming back going into your senior year? Do you guys bring back a lot of your talent, or have you lost a lot? You ready for 3A this year?
Most definitely. We bring back pretty much everybody. So
good.
It's kind of crazy. Like our O-line is like bigger than some of the 7A O-lines. Like they're like 6'6", 6'7", so it's just like, bro, golly. But it's crazy. We definitely have a lot of big guys, and those are guys that push me each and every day. For me, I just want to continue to get better and just get ready for my college season and to just win that state championship.
You touched on, as you're going into this year, playing on the edge and playing on the inside. That's been a lot of articles that I've read over the last couple of weeks preparing for this is that, colleges, we're going to play you here, we're going to play you there. What do you want to play? Where do you see your future? And kind of, what's the best fit for Sterling Dixon? What makes you most comfortable?
I'm most comfortable at outside linebacker. That's kind of what I do. I love rushing off the edge. And just that's the biggest part of my game. I'm a very dominant edge rusher. But it's just size. That's the biggest thing. That's why they want to put me at inside. But once I continue to get bigger, they're gonna put me there. So I can't wait.
You say continue to get bigger. I have you listed at 6'3", 210. Is that accurate, or we a little bigger than that now?
I'm 212 right now.
There you go. We got to get that extra 2 pounds. That's right. Peanut butter sandwiches every single night. Do you like what you've seen out of the Alabama defense? All right, back up. Your thoughts on Kevin Steele? You committed in December. Alabama still had Pete Golding as the defensive coordinator. I've seen clips of you where you're very complimentary of Pete Golding and how he, always talking to you and communicative. Coach Cottrell told me that kind of transition slowed Alabama down just a little bit. What did that transition kind of mean to you, and how do you feel about Coach Steele?
It just took a little bit getting used to, but like once I knew that Kevin still was getting in there, I was just like, man, I've been doing this job since 8th grade. He was recruiting me at Auburn in 8th grade, so he kind of knew me before all the other college coaches knew me. So it was just like, man, I love this guy. He was the first to really show me love. So for me, it was just like, man, I can't wait to play for this guy. And we just started talking and building more of a bond, and it was just like, man, I can't wait. He's definitely a great coach. He continues to tell me the stuff that I'm doing wrong, and that's the biggest thing for me. I don't want to know what I'm doing good. I want to know what I can fix. So that's really about it.
All right, so a lot of Alabama fans have worried that Coach Steele is too old and said, "Oh, he can't connect with the players." What do you respond to that? How do you hear that?
For me, it's just like old school coaches are the best. Cause for me, it's just like, man, they got more fire than like the new school coaches. Like they gonna get into you every single day. So from Coach Steele, it's basically gonna be like my dad. My dad's kind of old school, so he gets on me each and every day about little things. And I know Kevin Steele is gonna stress the little things to me. So it's pretty much just gonna be like back home. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to work each and every day to just get better.
And what do you think about Coach Robert Bala? He got kind of replaced as the outside linebackers coach. So as you come to Alabama, you're going to be dealing with both of those coaches heavily, Coach Bala and Coach Steele, inside and outside. What do you think of Coach Bala? He's brand new on the staff.
Man, with Coach Bala, it's different. He knows what he's talking about. He definitely calls me each and every day and makes sure that I'm just doing the right things. And he tells me what I'm doing wrong and right in my game, and I just appreciate him for just being realistic for me.
Sterling, lots of talk in the last 2 years, really 3, about NIL, and you're a highly recruited prospect, and everybody's coming after you. What's your opinion about NIL? How do you feel about it, and what are you looking forward to getting into with it?
For me, it's full time. That's the biggest thing. That's really what I'm worried about. If the NIL comes, it comes. But for me, I'm just trying to get to the league and feed my family. That's gonna be the biggest thing. I'm trying to get better each and every day. So for me, it's like it's kind of a distraction because some players worry about it. But for me, if you play on the field, and then if you just do the right thing as far as like character, you're gonna get it and it's gonna come.
There you go. Do you have any favorite brands or any kind of interest that you really love outside of football that you might want to partner with, maybe? Verizon Wireless, trucks, or Toyota, you know?
It'll probably be Jordan. Like I love Jordans. I wear them pretty much every day. So that's the biggest thing. And I like Nikes too. So.
You got Jordans on right now?
Nah, not right now. I got on Yeezy slides.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What do you think about? Speaking of that, what do you think about Jordan selling Hornets?
It's crazy. I would have never thought he was going to do
that. he sells the Hornets at a huge. He bought them for like $200 million, and he didn't win a single playoff game, and now he's selling them for like $2 billion or something like that. What a business! He is a business savant. What a man.
Most definitely.
What did you? Let's see, where am I at here? I'm on notes. Okay, now that you're shutting down recruitment, and we love that from the Alabama's perspective, you went on the official visit with Jalen Mbakwe and Jeremiah Beaman, so you had the 3 of you guys were already committed. What, who is there anybody on your list that you want to add to the class, or are you going to let the coaches kind of handle that and you want to focus on high school?
For me, I do look at adding to the class, but I've been just trying to focus on high school, but if I had to choose a guy, I'd say DeMarcus Reed. He's going to be in my position room. We play the same position, so it's like, why not bring some of the top talent in? Because I know that's going to push me to be even better. So for me, it's just like, why not have that competition? Why not make this man better? And why not let him make me better? Because I know he's going to know some things that I don't know, and I'm going to know some things that he don't know. So for me, it's just like, I want to learn and get better.
Dang, that is an Alabama attitude right there, because, you know, the typical guy's like, hey, you go over there, I'm going to steal his playing time. But to invite him in or try to recruit him, I think that's it speaks volumes of your character already. You were on a recruiting visit this past weekend with Colin Simmons. I don't know much about Colin. I know that he's highly recruited, and I know he also plays your position, or plays edge linebacker. Tell us about Colin. Tell us just kind of about him, and maybe anything that you know about his visit, or just kind of give the people what you know about Colin Simmons.
Colin Simmons is definitely a humble guy. I feel like he's one of the best at what he does. He's definitely a great edge rusher. He can be an inside linebacker. He can get down. He's athletic. He's strong. Can stop the run. He's a pretty cool guy. I think he enjoyed the visit a lot. I'm still trying to recruit him and see what he's gonna do, but I don't really know. We just gonna keep getting him on campus for unofficial and game day, and we'll see where it goes from there.
That's what's up. Well, really, we're celebrating Sterling Dixon's commitment and solidifying of his commitment. Anybody else is golden. I'm excited to have you on the program and getting to know you. What have You mentioned it earlier that Coach Saban and Alabama haven't given you many promises, and other schools have promised maybe things that aren't even allowed to be promised. What are schools pitching you? Is the hey, you're going to play inside outside? Is the versatility? Is that a big draw to you? What's the biggest? Okay, you don't want to go to Alabama. You can come here for X or Y. Is there anything that has actually caught your attention?
Like a lot of schools, they really don't have a set position for me. It's just like,
sure.
You can play edge rusher, you can play Sam, you can play Jack, you can play strong safety, you can play linebacker. So for me, it's just moving all around. You never know where I'm going to be, and that's kind of what they want to do with me. A lot of those schools have seen me covering camp and stuff like that, so they know I have the opportunity to do it. They just like, why not put that on your film and make you even more valuable to the NFL? So that's something that they sell to me, and just early playing time.
When you're watching, obviously a fan of football, when you're watching football as you growing up through your career, who are some of the defenders or who are some of the players that you like to model your game after, or people that you like to emulate?
Darius Leonard, Von Miller, just kind of those fast guys, because they can do everything. They're really athletic. They can drop hook curl. They can lock them on man to the back. They can pass rush. So for me, it's just like, why not be able to do all that stuff? And that's what type of player I think I'm going to be. I'm just thank God that I'm in this position.
Sterling, I read an article about your 20 sacks and about, I think it was after an LSU visit, talking about improvement. What is, you obviously have great numbers last year, but what are some of the things that these college coaches have told you, hey man, we'd like to see you get this better or improve in that area in your senior year?
So with me, it's just like block destruction, like just getting off of blocks is better. Because a lot of the time, due to like the competition, I kind of hold on to the blocks, wait till I see the running back, and then I run fast as I can to go get them. But they want to just see me destroy the player in the first place, and that's a lot of the stuff that they taught me about. And something else I think was just my read as an inside linebacker. I kind of just need to get better at that. And what else was it? It was a false step.
That's what I read.
Like all my sacks last year was pretty much false steps, and I was just looking. I was like, man, I had all those sacks, but I could have had like 40 had I did this or that right. I had a lot of pursuits last year, but they all could have been sacks. So for me, it's a bunch of improvement I need to do. It's just a little thing.
Do you enjoy getting coached in those little mechanics, or is it kind of like, man, this is tidbits. I'm still getting my 20 sacks. Come on, man.
For me, it's just like you're gonna get frustrated with it. Like you're gonna be like, man, but the great players want to be coached. So like
Sure.
I want to know my mistakes. I might not like it, but it's something that I need to improve on. I just appreciate those coaches for being real enough to tell me instead of just recruiting me like, man, you're great. You're doing this right. For me, I just want to know what I'm doing wrong. Just fix that for me. Even if I'm aggravated, because I still got to go get this right.
Sterling, they recently put out the 2024 schedules for the opponents for all the SEC schools. Your freshman year ain't going to be no joke at Alabama.
Definitely.
Going to Wisconsin, bringing South Florida, bringing Western Kentucky in, then you got the SEC schedule, going to Oklahoma, bringing Auburn in, bringing Georgia in. Oh, man. So it's a difficult schedule. Were you pumped last week seeing the 24 schedule?
Most definitely. It's just something different. For me, it's just like a lot of stuff is happening in 24. Like the NCAA is coming back out. Of course, I want to be in the game. That's something special for me. You got different schools going into different conferences. The schedule is going to be harder. So for me, the playoffs going to be big too. So it's just like, man, it's a lot of changes in this. Something that's exciting for me. I just can't wait to get to the college level and dominate.
All right, you brought up NCAA football. It's a topic I've had on this show last week when a lot of the noise was coming out about $500 and players boycotting. There's no reason to boycott. You're taking the 500 and you're getting into the game, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to be in a video game. That's it's something that you don't get to do.
Exactly. I mean, my big point last week was, hey man, they used to make the game with just linebacker number 47, and you just had to fill in Sterling Dixon.
Exactly.
So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. The last time they put it out was 2014. So were you still, or did you play the last game in 2014, 8-9 years old somewhere?
I'm not even gonna lie. I still got a PS3 and I'm still going NCAA. Like I kind of just updated the roster. I got Alabama on there, all the current players on them, so I kind of play with them when I get bored. But it's fun.
Hey, that is one of the greatest games ever, and I'm excited about it coming back. I'm very pumped. What are you looking forward to most about being in a game? Like, how crazy is that?
I know I'm gonna be nervous probably the first couple of games just because it's gonna be an adjustment period. But honestly, I'm just excited more than anything. There's gonna be a couple thousand people up in there watching. So it's just gonna be like, man, all eyes on you, man. This is where I'm gonna earn my name, earn my stripes, and I'm just ready for it. This is something that I worked for my whole life.
Have you grown up a lifelong Alabama fan, or were you kind of cheering for other schools through your adolescence?
For me, I loved Alabama, but I really a fan. Like I liked everybody. I just love college football. Like I like college football more than NFL. So it's fun.
What's the atmosphere like in Bryant-Denny Stadium? A lot of people debate what sometimes it's the old money, hands on, sitting on their hands, but sometimes it gets pretty loud with the lights and stuff. What do you think about Bryant-Denny?
It's definitely different. When I walked in, like my first time, it just was something different about it. I just looked around, just like, man, I'm gonna be playing in the stadium one day. I kind of knew once I walked in the stadium, man, this is where I want to be. For me, it's just like, man, a lot of greats have came out of that stadium. You sitting amongst the greats, like some of the players on it and the staff knows, and like Nick Saban knows and stuff. For me being there, it was crazy. It was just something different. I just felt honored to be there, and it was just a blessing, and I just took it all in. So it's definitely a great atmosphere. It gets really loud up in there, like you said.
Well, I remember being on the field at the end of the A&M game last year, and I was like, okay, this right here is what it was really all about. It takes sometimes to get that atmosphere going, but yeah, at that moment, the 100,000 Alabama fans worried that A&M was going to win. It got pretty loud out there. Do you like the lights?
Man, I love the lights, especially when they go like off, when they cut off. It's just crazy. All the flashing lights up in there. I know as the player, it's kind of distressing because you're looking around like, man, wow, you're not gonna get this in the league, but man, it's definitely fun.
Let's talk about other edge rushers on the roster already. You see Dallas Turner, you see Keanu Coate, you see Quandarius Robinson, lots of quality edge rushers on the Alabama roster. We just saw Will Anderson get drafted in the top five. What does it mean to you to be going to a school that has a history of, hey, we're loading out edge rushers, we're loading out linebackers. You might play inside as well. Alabama has a great history of inside linebackers. To walk into a place where, hey, man, the quality of play expected of you is tip-top.
It's just different. I can learn a lot from those guys now. I'm not even on the field, but I can text them or call them, and they'll just let me know some stuff. So for me, it's just learning from what they did wrong and learning from what they have going for themselves as of right now. That's just the craziest part.
I think I only have a couple questions left on my list. I don't want to get out of here without asking about Deontay Lawson, your former high school teammate. Deontay Lawson I expect to start at inside linebacker for the Crimson Tide, and I am in love with him. When I saw him play for Mobile Christian his senior year, I was impressed, and then I've been impressed with him down in Tuscaloosa. What do you like about Deontay? What have you learned from him? Obviously, being a couple years ahead of you in the recruitment process, what's your relationship like with him?
It's good. He's definitely a leader and a big brother figure to me. Man, he's one of the smartest players on the field at all times. He knows where the play is gonna go before it goes. Like in high school, we played together, so it was just like, man, he'd be like, man, Sterling, the play come right here. I swim, it would be in the gap, and that's me and him both on the tackle. So for us, it was good. It was fun back in those days, just playing with him. He pretty much knew everything. Very coachable player, very smart player, very physical player. He can pretty much do everything. So for me, it was just like, man, why not learn from this guy? He kind of helped me throughout the recruiting process and helped me decipher real from fake. So for me, it was just like, man, why not go play with this man again? And I feel like it's going to be like high school again. Like I feel like he's going to go enter in the draft this year because he's going to do his thing. I have no doubt about that. And then I'll get up in there and try to play as early as I can, and it's just probably going to be the same thing. But, man, I just can't wait.
That's what I was going to ask you. I just think he's a specimen, incredible player. Yeah. But I didn't want to be biased in my own right. Are you expecting you expecting him to come out and really look? It's been a minute since Alabama has had that headhunter inside linebacker.
Yeah, he going after this year for me because it's just like you seen what he did in the Iron Bowl week, leading tackler. So for me, it was just like, man, I'm watching this man do this. And I just was playing high school with him. I remember the days that he was working when nobody else was working. I remember the days when he was getting that extra film, man. So for me, it's just like. It's just like me giving his flowers. Like I tell him every day, man. Like, man, you're truly doing something special. I can't wait. I can't wait to be a part of it. I'll be right after.
Well, Sterling, this has been a blast for me. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I got one more question for you, and it's academic related. I saw a clip where you're talking about working into mechanical engineering. Hello, that's really high level. What's got you interested in mechanical engineering? I was a dummy. I took journalism because I can do 1 + 1 and write a stupid sentence.
So for me, it was just like my whole family is an engineer. My dad is an engineer. My uncle is an engineer. my first cousin is an engineer, so for me it's just like why not? Those guys, I see my dad bring on 6 figures, so it's just like, man, like why not go do that? I feel like I'm smart enough to do it. It's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of effort, but I'm willing to sacrifice now and be benefit the reward later. So that's it.
Sterling, this has been an absolute blast for me. I hope to catch up with you again in a couple of weeks or months or so and bring you back on the show. Tell everybody one more time about the news that you made this past weekend after your official visit, and really, how can we support you going into your senior year?
I shut down my recruitment. I just want to say roll tide. You can just support me by I don't even know.
Give out a social media or two that we can go follow you and kind of raise your profile a little bit.
At Sterling Dixon 1 is my Instagram and Twitter, so you guys can follow me on there. And I just appreciate you for having me on.
Oh, Sterling, it was a blessing and a blast for me, so I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, man, and I hope to catch up with you again soon. Have a great summer.
Most definitely, I appreciate you. Have a
Yes, sir. That's Sterling Dixon, and wow, I am blown away. Great to chat with him. Look, Coach Cottrell told us that we would love him, and I think that we absolutely will. What does he say? Oh, I'm not afraid of competition. I'm trying to bring in another big-time edge rusher in my class. Why? To compete with me so I can learn from him. Dude, what a great attitude. Oh, Alabama doesn't promise me anything. They just promise me the opportunity to come in and work. What a great attitude. Seeing Deontay Lawson, seeing Deontay's hard work. Look, one, I'm juiced because it's the first commit that I've had on the show, but I'm juiced because, I think the in-state guys appreciate and respect Alabama a little bit more and understand the standard that's been set here with the Crimson Tide a little bit more. So I think, look, we just got a great interview with Sterling Dixon in this past half hour. If you want to, you can share it with your friends on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever that you get your podcast. We'll obviously be trying to keep up with Sterling as he goes throughout his summer. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. I just got a great message. Will we have Julian Sayin on this show? I just got a text message that I might have Julian Sayin on this show very soon. And my heart just went out the roof. Oh my gosh, praise the Lord. Wow. So thank you so much to Sterling Dixon for joining us. Like I said, I'm going to work on getting Rico Scott. And I just got a little line on Julian Sayin. Julian Sayin winning the Elite 11 camp. Cannot believe everything fall in place for this show, and I cannot believe it. Thank you, Lord, for everything that you're working for us. Wow. So we're going to have a fun rest of the week. We're hopefully going to talk to Rico Scott in a couple of days. We're going to talk to Rodney Orr in a couple of days. Rodney Orr, Mr. Tighter Insider. No one covers Alabama recruiting like Rodney Orr. I want to catch up with my friend Hunter Johnson. It's been a while. We want to wrap up all the Alabama athletic seasons. There's rumors and suggestions that one Jaron Stevenson is going to be reclassifying to the 2024 class and committing to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yes, we've talked about the power forward. Yes, we're in basketball. The power forward from North Carolina. Looking like he's going to be spurning UNC and Virginia and coming to Alabama right here in this new 2024 class, filling one of the 2 remaining spots. Golly, it's going to be a great week. You've got the NBA draft as well on Thursday. I cannot wait to see where Brandon Miller goes. Look, Brandon's going to Charlotte. He's going number 2. He's going to Charlotte unless somebody trades into that number 2 spot. Where's Noah Clowney going? Where's Noah Clowney going is the great mystery. Is he going to go in the lottery at 10, 11, 12, or is he going to go right there outside the top 20, right there inside the top 20 at 18, 19? Or is he going to fall out of the first round? I think the Noah Clowney mystery, as well as Charles Bediako. I mean, Chuck opted to stay in the NBA draft due to advice that he received. Now, did he receive that he's going to be a first-round draft pick? No, but I believe that Charles Bediako probably received assurances that he would receive a 2-way contract. What is a 2-way contract? It's the kind of contract that J.D. Davison received last year from Boston. It allows you to sign to the G League team, the affiliate of whatever program, whatever franchise drafts you, and then it allows you to go up and back and forth from the G League roster to the NBA roster. It allows you to go back and forth basically at will, and it's kind of a developmental position that the NBA has developed, a developmental contract that they have developed. And JD played well off of it this past year. I know a lot of people thought he needed another year in college. He probably did, but he was always going to go to the NBA. Charles, this whole year was hard. Emotionally. It was obviously hard on the court because you played a very difficult schedule, but it was, I don't need to recap the difficulty that it was emotionally for these players, everything that they went through. Obviously, look, Jimmy Harris's death, that remains supreme, remains the major focus. But the scuttlebutt between what did you know, who's involved, and how much are they involved, is Alabama sweeping this under the rug, this, that, and the other, that takes an emotional toll. And I really do think that played a part in Charles's decision. I think it played a part in Jaden Bradley's decision. I think it was just a very difficult year, but I am looking forward to the rest of the week. I cannot wait for the NBA draft to see where Brandon goes. We'll celebrate his number 2 overall pick when he gets selected. You can follow us on BamaCentral.com for all the news and notes for all the Alabama news. When Jaron Stevenson reclassifies, which I'm expecting to take place tomorrow, and commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can read that on BamaCentral.com. My man Blake Byler covering all things Alabama basketball for Bama Central. You can follow BamaCentral.com for softball news as well. Alabama softball receiving a transferee, receiving a pitcher out of LSU. So look, Patrick Murphy already bringing in 2 pitchers out of the transfer portal. You can read about that. Miss Katie Wyndham writing about that for BamaCentral.com. And of course, Alabama baseball has signed a new assistant coach. They've signed a baseball coach. They've signed a baseball coach going to be coming in from Maryland. Yes, from Maryland. And so we will look to introduce him probably in the next day or so as I get to know exactly what happened. That happened in the last hour or so as I was talking to Sterling Dixon. Look, I want to thank Coach Ronnie Cottrell. None of that would have been possible without Coach Cottrell. Coach Cottrell, Mobile Christian School, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you're doing. Obviously, coaching Deontay Lawson and Sterling Dixon and developing young men across the Mobile Bay area. I really appreciate you setting me up with Sterling Dixon. Sterling, thank you so much for your time today. You can follow him. Make sure you go follow him. Tell him that you're looking forward to him coming to Alabama at Sterling T. Dixon 1. So it looks like a TD, like touchdown. Sterling T. Dixon 1. That'll be tagged in all of our social media posts for the day based on the interview that we just did. I cannot wait to see him in an Alabama uniform. I'm looking forward to seeing what he will do for Mobile Christian, if they're going to win a state championship or not. It sounds like they're bringing back a loaded Leopards roster that got to the semifinals, 3A semifinals this past year. Looking to win Coach Cottrell's, I believe, 2nd state championship in his history as a head coach. But I really cannot thank him enough for setting up Sterling Dixon. And I can't thank any of these high school coaches enough for allowing me access to talk to their athletes. It's been a blast so far. We've talked to 3 athletes so far. We look forward to talking to many more throughout the rest of the summer as we load up the 2024 class and load up the 25 class. This would be a really fun lane for me to explore. I hope that you guys, the listener, are enjoying our conversation with these high schoolers. I'm trying to do my best to make them fun and make them not just be canned answers. Look, mechanical engineering for Sterling Dixon. Ooh, and no, not worried about NIL. It'll just come to me. We'll figure that out. Oh, man, what a dream it was to have Sterling Dixon on the program today. 4-star Mobile Christian linebacker out of the 2024 class, committed to Alabama, and has shut down his recruitment as of this past weekend. So that's the big news for the Joe Gaither Show today. We cannot wait to be back with you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to continuing this high school series, bringing on more high school athletes, bringing on more Alabama's targets, recruiting targets, right here on the Joe Gaither Show. I want to thank Chris Walsh. You can follow him at Writing Walsh on the Twitter machine. And I want to thank you, the listener. I am Joe Gaither. You can follow me at Joe Gaither6 on the Twitter machine, Instagram machine, Facebook. Send us your comments, queries, and complaints. Tell everybody about the show. Send them the Spotify link or the Apple Music link. Everybody in the Mobile area, I appreciate listening to this episode with Sterling Dixon. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow with a Wednesday edition of the Joe Gaither Show. For you, the listener, for me, I'm Joe Gaither. That was a blast with Sterling Dixon, and this was the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.